Greetings from Loonsville. This is Sid, and I am here with Jeff again.
Power to the people.
Yeah, we just got finished watching Antebellum. Um, it was a movie.
The movie was. This movie has layers. I'm interested to see what you
Uh-huh.
thought about it.
uh, well, it was okay.
All right,
It was an open movie.
I'll start. This movie is touted as a horror movie, and I would like to be the first person to deny everything he's doing right now and say it is absolutely a horror movie. See, this shit wouldn't be scary to white people because they don't know what it would be like to be a black person. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm familiar with the struggles, but I wouldn't know. But could you imagine becoming too powerful, too well spoken, too strong, so they kidnap you and take you to a
Hey,
plantation
spoilers.
and make you a slave?
We haven't got to that yet. You just gave up the whole movie.
I did, all in 1 second. End review.
Um, no, yes, it's a horror movie, but it's not what it was marketed as.
I don't know what it was
What?
marketed as.
Oh, it looked like it was gonna be
I saw
a
nothing.
ghost story-ish. Like I watched the trailer, it looked kind of like it's gonna be a supernatural movie or a haunting movie, and it's definitely not that.
No, it is definitely not that, but I would definitely give it the horror credit. I had seen some things saying it's not. I watched it with somebody and they said it's not. To their credit, it would be hard for people to realize how scary the ideal behind that actually is. But that's fucking that is terrifying, man, to think that if you got too high up there, just
Well,
like
that's not the. They were doing it to other people too, so it's not just because of the level.
but you don't know that because the only other person whose status is revealed in the movie
As a professor,
was a professor.
yeah, but they were.
And at the end of the movie, this is weird that we're going backwards like this, but you really get all of the detail in the end of the movie, which is kind of backwards to any other movie. There's no backstory until the last like 10 minutes of the whole movie. So, but at the end, the the lady, we'll get into who all these people are, but the lady that reveals most of this stuff says that they were people against her father and that she handpicked them, but she didn't want
Well,
her because she
usually
thought she was
too high up on this on the radar.
yeah. She's big, she's got national media coverage and she's all right. So now that we've totally blown the whole plot of the movie in the first 30 seconds, we can we could cap this off. We could just call it. What's up?
Opinion time.
We're done. No, so the movie actually, yeah, we're not, we the plot is kind of hard to run through because of how the movie is filmed and the fact that all of the details are given in the last segment of the movie. So we already kind of went through what the movie is about. So one of the things that I really liked about this movie that totally blew my mind, no lie, I did not see it coming. The movie is filmed starting out on a plantation, and it's Civil War era. There's Confederate soldiers, and you really think it's a period piece. At least I did in the beginning, and
Well, yeah, at the beginning.
then the main character goes to bed, but she wakes up in our present time, and right then I was like, "What the? What's happening right now? Like, where did did we just go? What is this? And it got weird, kind of, because you start seeing familiar faces from
Plantation.
the plantation in the present. And I'm thinking ancestors, because they make some references to ancestral trauma, stuff like that. Your ghosts or your ancestors will come to haunt you in your dreams,
Yeah,
blah,
you
blah, blah.
start thinking like it's a reincarnation thing or
Right, right. And then the damnedest thing happens. Do I do it? I do it. She gets kidnapped and
you
brought
already did it.
to the plantation. Well, I didn't do that, but I'm doing it now. She gets kidnapped and brought to the plantation. So you find out that the whole past segment that you think is a flashback is actually the present, and the whole present you thought was the present is the flashback.
Yeah.
Like, I was just kind of mind blown by that. That was a
I
really.
honestly
You watch
I
trailers, you
honestly
probably
think
do.
no, I actually it did go back and forth between past and present
Yeah.
in the trailer, but it was kind of marketed as like a jump scare heavy haunting movie. At least that's what I took from it. And well, in the movie, it's not like that. You get like maybe one or two jump scares, which is usually just somebody tapping someone on the shoulder,
Yeah, there really weren't any jump scares in the movie. Um,
which is good.
yeah, I the the intensity is there for a lot of the mm, a lot of the I keep wanting to say past, but it's not the past, it's the present. So for a lot of the Civil War area pieces,
Hmm.
there's a lot of anxiety to them, especially at the end of the movie. And it was rough. The whole movie is kind of rough, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate that with the when they're going back to the plantation and stuff, that they didn't really flinch on the terrible stuff they're doing. They kind of just it's it, they it's in your face, and I appreciate when they do that in movies.
I mean, yeah, I give them credit. They sold that shit. That would be a hard thing to. I couldn't do that. I couldn't just be nah, not doing it. I mean, in a lot of the dialogue and stuff, and it's not even like the dialogue isn't heavy racist. There's a lot of, you know, things that people today would call undertoned racism that isn't undertoned at all. You just don't realize that you're racist. But they don't go after the hard shit, which I kind of appreciated because the movie it's rough to watch for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of slavery era shit going on that, yeah, just
I if I would cut all the present stuff though, or the stuff that's in modern time. I would cut all that out.
keep it one period.
No,
But
I
it's
mean
both
it's the
modern
same period.
time. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't like those scenes like when they're getting ready to kidnap her and stuff like that. I didn't like I didn't like any of the stuff about the hotel or sassy friend or their date night.
I didn't care for her friend. I didn't care for the character. I like the actress. I think the actress,
Yeah,
she's a good actress. She's actually really funny. So it was weird to see her play the snotty bitch, but it was also, I don't know. I didn't like it. You know what I mean? It was whatever for me.
I
Just
would cut all that out. Like have it go to the point where she finds the cell phone and and then them escape, and then maybe you could find out that first time you should know that she has a husband is that when she finds the phone and she tries to call him.
I don't know, man, because I liked that you know all of that, because they show you all the stuff, what she's going through, and you think that that's just her life, and then they cut to what came before that, and find out that she's a wife, a mother, and a businesswoman. A, she's got a doctorate. You know what I mean? She's a psychologist, and
Mhm.
you find out all this stuff about her, and then you realize that she's been kidnapped and gone. It kind of adds a lot of emotion to the fact that she's in that
Uh,
situation, and I don't think that emotion would be there.
I think um, I, I didn't get any emotional like attachment because I knew she had a kid or anything. It was just kind of like, well,
Well, I'm telling you,
because those scenes didn't seem very the scenes themselves. Man, like that. So I mean, I hated everything when it was like looked like it was present time. Thing and like the villain, the main one, the chick. I think it'd been better if you didn't know she was going and hide like in her hotel room and taking a piss or a dump or whatever she was doing.
I could have done without the scene where she broke into the hotel room. That really didn't. It didn't really serve any purpose narratively. You know what I mean? Like, you find out she stole her fucking lipstick. That's not really necessary.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably show her getting kidnapped, like maybe at the end. Then you kind of go through um, she's telling the story or whatever. But like, I think it should have been pretty straightforward. The opening shot, I gotta say, like the cinematography in this movie is pretty impressive.
I would agree.
The opening shot or the opening scene, that's one shot tracking the
Yeah.
plantation well until like they cut and
Well,
do like
yeah.
reaction shots.
Till,
But
till you see characters, yes. But yeah, it was a beautiful shot. There's a few of them in the movie.
yeah,
It was very well shot up until the end of the movie. I have a problem with the entire slow motion ending. I mean,
yeah, me
I
too.
at first I thought she was gonna catch a bullet to the face, but then I realized after that, because you find out that it's a Civil War reenactment area, that
Hmm.
they're hiding a slave plantation right in plain sight. Um,
Yeah,
they they're firing blanks obviously because it's a reenactment, so that clicked that obviously she couldn't catch a bullet. But speaking of catching bullets, I also had a problem with that end sequence because they are holding period proper revolvers.
hmm,
They don't fire 32 rounds, man. Nobody reloaded one of those fucking guns, and they just kept firing.
I did like somebody chasing on a horse with the automatic gun. He's like, and she's like,
Yeah, I kind of had a problem with that because he's carrying a revolver and it's just firing away like he's.
no, he has an automatic. Like it's a that one's not a period gun.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you kind of see it in the.
Okay, I must have missed it
He's
because
like,
the only guns that I saw were, proper Civil War era, except for one. I caught a rifle that wasn't proper for the time period, and when I saw it, I didn't think anything of it because I saw it before it shows you the present and then her getting kidnapped and brought there. So I just kind of glossed
yeah,
over it, like, whatever. They made a mistake. They tried to make it
they
look.
pulled out the big guns when she was about to escape. So it was still pretty easy for her to escape.
It it
I think
really
like
was. I mean, you find out that she already tried once and failed, and then these other people tried and failed, and they execute one in the first scene of the movie, which
Hmm.
that was rough to watch. But yeah, at the end she just gets on a fucking horse and leaves.
Yeah.
It was like, where was
Oh,
that? I mean, I like all the training she goes through during the entire thing you're watching. Like, you don't know what she's
huh.
doing. She's making
One
steps
thing
around the
that,
house, figuring out where the boards creak and all that shit, and you don't put it together until
yeah,
the end of the movie.
I kind of, I wish it wasn't out in the open because it is kind of a secret. Only certain people come in, like the hostel thing, like the hostel community or whatever you want to call it, the society of people that
Yeah,
sit there and torture people. It's right out in the open,
it is and it isn't. I mean, it's on the other side of
and
the
it's
reenactment, and it's surrounded by the wall of trees. But yeah, it's a big open plantation. Like, it's hard to believe that nobody, I don't know, flew over it and saw, or a fucking
yeah.
helicopter, anything.
I'm sure it's still a plantation whenever they're not doing reenactments either. I mean, you can't just let them go unless they kill them all and get new ones for every reenactment.
Well, they're not bringing in people to the slave part. You know what I mean? Like, they're bringing in Confederates, yes, but they're not letting in anybody else. They're not letting tourists in. So
Like special people that get to go in, but
yeah,
like what I'm saying is that when there's not explosions going on during the someone's like shooting off a gun. Like,
yeah.
well, what's going on over there? They're not doing anything today.
I don't know, man. Like, people shoot guns. I think it's a South thing. I mean, they're in the South, so I don't know shit
But
about the South. I live in Minnesota. I don't know shit about fucking Georgia.
it makes sense why they want them to be quiet all the time, but
Yeah,
not. Sometimes they scream and they're loud,
yeah.
especially if they're about to get shot.
There's a lot of good in the story, and there's a lot of positives to the movie, but there's also a lot of downfalls. And I felt like the execution of just the end aspect of the movie could have been done a lot better.
Yeah, I think the idea is that if you have a good amount of money, you could go and pretend that you're a Confederate soldier and these people are slaves.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea behind the plantation is. That could probably be it. I'm sure it's something along those lines. But the adverse to that isn't who they're letting in, it's who they're kidnapping. And
Yeah,
it's
and I just feel like you have people coming in because they're paying all this money to. But not everyone is. I don't know. I feel like it'd be easier for you to convince them that they're androids, like in Westworld, and then that's why they're doing like all this terrible shit to people. Not the two like the main people where they're actually kidnapping people, but like the regular Confederate soldiers, they're at being assholes to these slaves who are real people, but they go, they're not real. And then they have all this like, they're not real. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I think
I,
that would be kind of
I think
a
that
cool
they get
thing.
off more knowing that they are real.
I don't think a lot of people would though. I think
A lot of people probably wouldn't, but you know,
I think it'd be easier to have more because they're making money off of this. And I think it'd be easier to not to get caught too. Like you could go, well, they're androids the entire time. You could have like officials coming and checking that have like a prototype fucking
yeah, but this is
robot where,
based in reality.
oh yeah, I know you
But
can
they don't
make
have
that shit.
fucking androids, man. You can't build a lifelike robot.
Oh, it doesn't have to be complete. You could just have an exoskeleton like you fucked up, and go, well, that's what's in all these people, and
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you talk about Westworld and shit, right? That's based in the future.
yeah. Well,
Look,
it's more believable than no one knowing fucking shit's going on in the middle of a park.
I don't know, man, because this kind of shit actually does go on. So, I mean, not to the extent that we're seeing where they're kidnapping fucking people that are in the public eye, but kidnapping and forcing people into slavery still exists in the South. I know this for a fact. That kind of shit actually happens. And people don't say or do anything about it. And the legal system in the South is actually engineered to protect those people and allow it. Like they still use slave labor from fucking prisons down there. It runs everything. They it's a southern thing. So to say that it's unbelievable that the shit would happen is just sadly inaccurate because in a lot of southern
It's still
states
unbelievable.
that shit it's going on right now.
Eh, yeah, but this is like right out in the open. It's kind of like,
Yeah, so are prison chain gangs. It's right out in the open. They fucking go arrest people and provide evidence proving somebody's guilty of a crime that they never committed, and then they force them into slavery.
it's a bit different.
It's really not, because that's right
No,
out in
like
the
the
open.
idea is not, but there you have.
Like if I came to your
They're not
house
just
right
kidnapping
now,
people.
and well, they are though. They're just
Yeah, but they have
falsif-
paperwork saying, "Hey, this person's a
Yeah, they
prisoner,
falsified
so what
evidence.
we're doing
How
is
do you know that
okay."
they didn't do the shit like with any of them? You know what I mean? They didn't, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, if somebody came and took me or you and forced us into labor, but provided documentation saying, like, you fucking sell guns to Iranians, or I have a nuclear bomb under my bed. Like, they're just gonna, okay, cool, so slave. Like, that doesn't make it right, but that's what's going on. And that's why this is completely believable because the shit could be in the open in the South. It is. It's not believable to you because you don't think the shit could exist, but I know that the shit actually does exist. And you're hung up on the semantic argument over whether somebody having a legal document saying they should be a slave or shouldn't. I'm talking legally, as in like,
I'm not hold up on
in prison, makes it one believable and the other not. Because one can be out in the open if
that.
they're
Yeah,
wearing an orange jumpsuit, but the other can't be out in the open if they're in a field picking cotton.
yeah. If it's so easy to escape, and it's right there, as soon as she escapes, they kind of do something about it.
Yeah, I still like
So,
that. The whole ending of the movie just kind of, the movie itself has that like anxious, gritty feel to it. You know what I mean? Like it's really intense. That ending just kind of blew it for me because it was so easy for her to just get on that fucking horse and leave and take him out. And did you see her beating that chick's ass at the end of the movie? Like she could have fucked that dude up in his sleep. She could have broke a bedpost off like days prior, left it there, murdered him in his sleep, just rode right the fuck out.
mhm.
So yeah, the the escape was too easy. I did like the escape. I'm not gonna lie because the dude, like the main prick officer in charge, he got what he deserved. I liked that. I liked that the general and the main officer and one of the other officers. Should we should
Burnt to death.
all right, you said it. They got locked in the
You already
fire
spoiled the
barn
first part.
and she lit them on fire. And then the chick,
Yeah.
I liked hers too. She got hers. I liked I liked her getting noosed and drugged by a horse. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "Ugh." Ah, I have a thing against racists and racism. It's it's a problem. It's not really a problem, but I like. Oh my god, man! I was so cheerful and giddy when she was just killing all them people. I was really sad the professor got killed though. Not gonna lie.
He knew he was going to, though.
I did. You could tell on his face that he knew too. He wasn't gonna make it out of there.
As soon as the character says, "If I don't make it,"
Yeah.
yeah, they're not gonna make it.
If I don't make it out of here is the same exact thing as I'll be right back.
Yeah, or a couple days until retirement.
I like that. Yeah. The
Or
opposite
just
retire
like
situation.
acknowledging that you're in a relationship or that you have kids.
I just smoked a joint. You want to have premarital sex? All right. Well, they're getting off in a sleeping bag, beaten against a tree. So
Yeah.
I love it.
There were a lot of parts that I did like in this movie, and then there were a lot of parts that
I agree.
uh,
I agree completely with that. I really like the premise of the movie. I liked that it got made as opposed to some other things that I've seen lately. Um,
would
I
have deleted all the. Um,
I wouldn't. I get what you're saying because it does kind of,
I think it would flow better.
yeah. I liked the twist of it because like I said I haven't seen the trailer, so I wouldn't have known any of that was coming. That's
Oh, it wasn't. That wasn't in the trailer.
not that it's
The fact that
twisted,
it
but
was back and forth, but
yeah, you already said that they had both the plantation and the not plantation in the trailer. So I hadn't seen the trailer. I didn't know that it was going to switch like that. So both times when it switched between the two, that threw me for a loop. And then when she gets brought there and you find out that that's her present situation, like that fucking blew my mind. Trailers, man. Some of you, I'm getting into editing, okay? Like this is my thing now. Not really, it's not my thing, but I'm fucking with it and I'm coming for you because you're making trailers that suck. I'm gonna start doing your job for you. I'm gonna make trailers that don't ruin movies.
uh,
I'm gonna make trailers with a voiceover of me just saying all the shit that's gonna happen. Ooh, this is right before she shoots him in the face. Cut to the next scene. Just
in a world.
in a world where everybody dies and nobody sees it coming. Like that's the first line. In a world that turns post-apocalyptic. In a world where this kid at the playground is about to get got. And everybody's just like, what? Whatever. No, but seriously, I wish better for trailers. I think trailers are I I give them credit. It's a hard line to walk because you want people to come. You want people to be intrigued and interested in coming because a lot of people aren't like me. You know, they go based on the trailer. They go based on reviews and ratings. That's what dictates whether or not they're going to come out to see your production. And of course, the ultimate goal for filmmakers is to get people to come see your shit. So
Yeah.
if your trailer sucks, more than often people aren't gonna come see your shit. I'm not one of them. I I just like movies, man. I don't watch trailers. I refuse to because I want that experience. That's why I see movies. I watch movies for the experience, for the emotion, for the feeling, for the surprise, for the fucking anxiety-ridden tension that just makes you want to dry your hands and go hug a kid. Not Joe
But
Biden
every
hug a kid either. I'm talking like, go love your fucking relatives, not somebody else.
every scene, other than the modern stuff, has that tension. I don't like it. Should just go straight through. Then it will hold on to that tension like through like the whole movie probably. And without that breakup, it's kind of like I think it would be a better movie.
I could understand that if you had it start and you changed the tone of like the hotel. Like you could keep the attitude she was getting, but like it's got that creepy horror theme music in the background. You know what I mean? Like that ominous shit going on. Like you could get
Yeah.
rid of that and you could just have it be a a standard sequence. You know what I mean? Kind of like in Hostel. You brought Hostel up earlier. When they're not
Yeah.
kidnapped yet, it's just a movie, and then all the tense tones and background music and shit starts after they're getting kidnapped, whatever. So you could have had her start as the family woman and played it straight through, and then have her get kidnapped and be there. I guess I appreciate a good twist, so I liked it.
Oh no, I didn't mean that. I meant like that stuff is gone from the movie completely.
But then it would just be her on the plantation, and then she would
Yeah.
get free, and then it would be the end.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah, it's like
so confusing.
yeah, like I don't know, like the best
It would also only
they
be
could
like
kind of
35 minutes long.
yeah, that'd be good too. Oh, wouldn't it?
I know, it was half the movie, so it was actually the majority of the movie took place on the plantations.
Yeah. So taking out the
I wouldn't want them to. I get why you're saying you would. I mean, I could see that. Hey man, I have the ability to recut it.
it'd be like a good version of The Village.
If you want to see the Loonsville cut of Antebellum, drop a comment. I'll
Be the
tear that shit up.
it'd be the good version of The Village, and we need a good version of The Village.
I'm still mad at you for The Village.
You could make a good version.
No, you can't.
Just scenes. No, with scenes of Antebellum. Like what? Take the Annabelle movie, turn it into The Village. Take all the modern stuff.
You
It
can't
even
make a
has
good
the
version of The
airplane.
Village.
It even has the airplane.
Somebody asked me once, "What's The Village about?" I said, "Yellow, red, and don't go in the woods." And they were like, "What?" I was like, "Exactly. Don't fucking see it."
Period piece love story that ends up with a twist.
Yeah. I'll give you a fucking twist, man. I was not a fan. I'm sorry, but M. Night Shyamalan is way better than the shit he does. And he's proven that, like, to everybody, which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want to get on an M. Night Shyamalan tangent. But we can if you want. You keep Bruce Willis in your shit, or James McAvoy. That man carried your movie, and he did it well. James McAvoy in Split is some of the best acting I have seen in an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It was
I
also
would go
just.
a little bit further
It
than
was.
the M Night Shyamalan movie.
I was gonna say I was. I was leading to it. I was also gonna say just in general, he is. I shouldn't say was. He is an amazing actor. He is fucking first class, and he did a great job in that movie. He does a great job in a lot of movies.
He should have been in The Happening.
You know what? Shouldn't have been in The Happening. The Happening.
I don't know. You recast it might be a decent movie.
I didn't mind the cast. I minded the entire premise and everything.
I know most of the cast didn't give a fuck. They're just like, whoa.
That's yeah. I don't know if that was the cast not giving a fuck, but I mean maybe because nobody seemed to care about that movie that was in that movie, and
This movie was supposed to be a big deal too. This was his what first rated R movie.
I don't even know who made this movie, man. I looked up nothing.
No, I'm talking about
Oh, M. Night Shyamalan and The Happening.
yeah, that was supposed to be a big deal. Like it was his first rated R movie, and like the trailers were
Yeah,
making that a point.
yeah. Not they. The trailers made a lot of points, and the movie followed through on none of them. I just
So this movie,
M. Night Shyamalan, man. I swear, I have heard I tell that you may or may not be currently working on something. And I know you're not going to see this, but I'm talking directly to you like you're fucking watching me. Don't fuck up. So now that that's
dude,
done, or do. Look, man, if you want to remake The Happening in the Village, you do your thing. But I want you to know that I believe you can do great things without Bruce Willis. And if you
Like, do
don't,
the
then put him in your movie.
do the witches. Maybe that would be better than what we got.
I'm still pulling for that movie to get pulled.
Right? Like,
Just
I want to get into the backlash that it got because we were talking about it earlier, but I do want to say, like, I am surprised that the backlash isn't because the movie just exists.
those were my exact words. And I can't agree with them anymore because I spoke them. And yeah, I know you feel the same because you said the same shit during the review we did. Like, how does this
Yeah,
exist? I'm just upset that it is. And yeah, we don't have to
yeah.
touch on the backlash. I mean, we already did a review for the movie. I wish we would have had that information before we did the review because we could have brought it up. I do want to say I'm
Well, it wasn't when we watched it, so I mean,
right.
that'd be.
I want to say on behalf of Loonsville, I am sorry to any kid that gets made to feel a monster. And if you ever need help, uh, I will completely come kick the shit out of somebody picking on you. Just I'll videotape it. We'll put it on Loonsville. We'll bully the bullies. I'm just kidding. That's not a threat, and I can't actually do that. But I know people that will. They'll wear jumpsuits. They're not scared.
Yeah,
Be strong.
we're gonna train a bunch of kids to be super tough that can beat up anybody. So no matter who we need to beat up, no matter what age, we'll have a fighter in that age group.
I will totally teach you kung fu.
Chains, bring chains into the fight.
Fuck it. All these little disenfranchised children show up in fucking kindergarten or first grade wearing chains around their wrists. Their belts are replaced with fucking chains.
Yeah.
They got spiked jackets on like people used to wear in the early 90s.
Yeah, whenever they fight, they snap.
We just birthed a new chain gang. We're bringing them back, man. The Warriors. Fuck yeah. It's like the 80s all over again. You need a denim jacket,
No one wants to come out and
spikes.
play.
No one wants to come out and play fucking COVID. You dude. I I just thought of the greatest comedy skit that could be made, and it's all Warriors. Dude. You get the Warriors, um, and they won't come outside. But you get the other gang out there, Warriors, come out and play. And then the Warriors get in the window and they're like, nah, man, COVID. No, they're all wearing their masks.
Social distancing.
Get away from each other. 6 feet. I don't know why
It's like
that
the
is
South
so
Park
funny.
pandemic special.
I haven't seen that yet. I just saw an ad for it today, actually, and realized that
It's pretty funny.
it is a thing. So I'm gonna have to watch it. I haven't. I am 2 seasons behind on South Park. I try to stay up on that shit because I South Park and Family Guy, I really like the way that they do social situations, political situations, and economic situations through comedy. It's
Hmm.
just both of them also have like some really risky notes. So there's some of the stuff that you kind of cringe at, mainly in Family Guy. He does some touchy material, but I like Seth
It's not
MacFarlane.
as fun as it used to be.
It isn't, and it is. I don't know why it isn't. You know what I mean? I think it's either got to do with lawsuits or something. Because doing stuff like that, South Park gets sued like 9 times a year. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And they're just those guys. They don't care. That's what they do. They're like, I don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
dude. Take me to court. I'll pay you. What do you want? You can have my trailer. Like, I don't actually think they live in trailers. I think both those guys are well off. They should be. They have had what are we at now? 21, 22 crazy seasons of that show.
Plus a few movies.
It's insane to think that.
Plus the Broadway, the Book of Mormon.
Right. And you know what? I actually saw Bigger, Longer, and Uncut in theaters, and I have the hardest time believing that that was 21 years ago.
Oh, I recently rewatched it and have a hard time thinking that too. The only reason why you know is because Saddam Hussein is a character.
Ah, come on, Dayton, don't be a bitch.
You know,
It's just
Saddam,
like Team
I
America.
don't really like it
The only
when you
reason
talk
why you
down to
know
me.
that's dated.
Oh my God, Team America was good. Puppet sex.
Right.
That reminds me
The
of
only
the
reason why
episode
you
in
know
South
that's
Park
dated
when
is Kim Jong-il.
yeah, the episode in South Park. There's a Halloween episode that featured corn, which I
Yeah.
fucking loved. My all-time favorite South Park episode, just because corn was on there and they had the power of corn. I loved that they did their own voices and made them all cartoony. It was, and Niblet, like so much greatness in that episode. No, but so the cemetery workers come over and they're talking to Stan or Kyle, right?
I
About
think
how
it's been forever.
his grandma has been dug up and removed,
Yeah.
and they're telling Sheila and him all about it, and they're like, right now they're probably drilling new holes in her body and making love to them. It sounds like fisting a jar of mayo. And the guy pulls out a jar of mayo and just starts fisting it, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, how do you do this on a cartoon? Like, they had some of it was bar none the most touchy and inappropriate shit ever was on early South Park, and it's still pretty inappropriate, but it's so
Yeah.
great. And they keep that edge, man. They keep that edge going, and it's what works. You know what? They should do an episode of this movie as South Park.
I don't know. I think they're getting ready to cancel it, aren't they? Or just stop.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. They could always want to call it, but then things keep happening. I mean, they're pretty good about staying on the pulse of both. You know,
Yeah,
like I want to say pop culture, but it's not really pop culture. There's they're
political and pop culture.
yeah, they're great with society in a whole. They
Yeah.
really fucking they make it funny. They take all of the bad and stupid shit that happens and they twist it into worse and stupider shit for TV. And it's fucking comical. I love it. Like the year that Trump was elected, man, like the Hillary Trump fucking season, that
Right.
shit was wild. And it was Mr. Hat versus
With Mr. Garrison.
yeah.
He's not Miss Garrison anymore now. He went back to being Mr. Garrison, and now he's Trump.
He is yeah. It's I like how they wouldn't touch him. Like, they knew damn well that Trump pulls everybody into court, so they won't touch Trump, but they will turn one of their dumbest, gayest characters into Donald Trump.
Oh, maybe that would have been the intention anyway.
And I loved it. No, that was that's why they had him running against Hillary instead of
Yeah.
putting Trump
I
in.
don't know if it's because they know Trump is gonna sue or anything. I think
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
think the reason why it worked. Well, he always talks to the kids and stuff. The kids wouldn't call Trump. They would call him Mr. Garrison, though. It's a thing. Like, they would call him, and go, "Hey, we need your help," and he's like, "Fuck you, kids."
Oh yeah. All right. Before we continue everything that is not this movie, because it's gonna happen, I want to get the ratings. I want to get the review approval or lack of out of the way, just for solidarity, just in case people only want to hear us talk about, the movie Um, I give the movie. I want to give it a 3. I want to give it more, but I'm gonna give it a 3. I liked the movie a lot. I will say that I do recommend seeing it. Um, I've been too generous with all my stars, man.
I honestly think they could have done. Uh, so they're. I think it'd work better as a satire. I think whole idea because it's
Please no.
not a funny one, just like a one that blows things out of proportion because they kind of do, but they're too serious about it. Like the chick villain, she's a cartoon character, and the movie's too serious for a cartoon villain.
Okay, I I appreciate that. She is kind of a cartoony villain. Yeah, she's pretty Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but we're the movie is a serious movie.
Too Snidely Whiplash. Yeah, it's too serious for Snidely Whiplash to be your villain.
It's it's hard to put into words what is
He's a cartoon character.
what is wrong with her character. You know what? She's a fucking racist. So I mean, it's hard for me to try and figure out what they could have changed about her because I'm disinterested in her immediately. I don't like
But my plan is cuts her out all like completely until the end. She's getting killed.
That's the only scene with her. Like, you just see her
Well,
get
no,
noosed off a
she's
horse.
in the,
No, I'm saying in
she's in
my
the fifth and
version,
stuff.
she gets noosed off a horse, drug into a fucking statue, and dies. That's it. That's the only time you see her. You care not
Oh,
about.
I'd still have the her leading the daughter around naming the people. I think that's an important part of the movie.
I wouldn't.
She'll be in it, and then
I wouldn't cut that. I just
she's got to have a reason.
wouldn't give her any speaking parts.
Uh, oh, she'll have a speaking part. I mean, you got to have a like. You have to feel for this person. She gets her like payback. I think if you cut her lines or whatever, it's not as like fuck yeah, you got that bitch. But none of the scenes where she's calling her or driving a Uber or taking
Yeah,
a shit in her hotel room make that any more impactful.
you could cut the hotel stuff. The Uber scene was important. That's when she's getting kidnapped, and the guy pops up into the back. You could, maybe trim her involvement, not know that she's driving the car. I guess you got to keep the scene, but you don't have to show her. The guy coming out of the back seat and kidnapping her when she finds out she's in the wrong car. Sure, but you could cut it showing her and informing you that she stole her lipstick. Really was not important to know. $1 billion. No, like, yeah, I think a re-edit on some stuff might be cool. I liked the movie. It was just the ending for me.
I think it would like not knowing what's going on yet, but then all of a sudden they start throwing in modern things. I think that would have worked better than the flip flop. Like especially with the
I don't know, dude. If a cell phone rang and the whole time I thought they were on a fucking plantation in the 1800s, I would be lost. I would be
no, not the
so.
cell phone yet. No, like after we find out the twist, the asshole that kicked the pregnant girl, um, awkward kid, he like is vaping, So like,
Yeah, but see,
you don't.
I would
You
be
just do
confused about that too. Like a fucking vape in the 1800s, I'd be like, what the
that's the
fuck
point.
is
Like,
this
then you
shit?
start going. But like, yeah, he's vaping. You know, he's a douchebag just because of that. You don't even need him kicking the pregnant lady.
I don't know. I would be thrown off by that. Just me personally. I
And that's
appreciate
kind
your
of the
view
point,
of
though,
it,
isn't it?
but well, I mean, I wouldn't be thrown off in an okay way. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? I think I would be turned off to the idea of the movie if the entire time I thought it was a period piece and then all of a sudden the dude pulls out a vape and then a cell phone rings and then she escapes into like the current world. I mean, maybe. I guess that you're talking the M. Night Shyamalan cut now.
Yeah. She'll find the phone. She calls her husband that you don't even know exists until this moment. And she's like, I don't know where I'm at, but I'm going to send you a ping.
Yeah, and you're just like, did they have pings? When was the Civil War? Was that last week? Is that a fucking iPhone? What's going
Yeah.
on here? When did they
Yeah.
start making vapes? I thought this shit came out fucking 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You're talking 300, 400 years?
I don't know, like there are bits and pieces of the way people were acting anyway that kind of go, yeah, something's a little screwy here.
Actually, I'm glad you said that because the hair,
Huh?
the way that the female people that were enslaved had their hair done,
Huh?
a lot of those hairstyles and hairdos weren't created or done back then, and that was the first thing that caught my eye when I saw them in the cotton field picking cotton. And that was before the twist of it going back to now.
Huh?
I was like, but that's right around when I saw the rifle for the first time too, and I was like, all right, they kind of missed a couple things, but I'm gonna let it slide. And then after it did the whole present past thing, but it's both present. I was like, wow, okay, it makes sense. They didn't fuck up at all. They're actually in current times now. I get it.
Some of the way some of the soldiers and stuff were acting too were kind of like, well, start going, well, no, I don't think they would be acting that way. And then the further you go into, like they hint at it all the way through, so you can still have that, and you're like, well, because I think they're hoping that you're gonna go, that's fine. That it's just historical inaccuracies, and you're gonna like let it slip until like,
Oh yeah, we get plenty of those kind of yeah, I don't want to say it. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to be that guy. That's a fucking white history thing right there. I'm totally going to say it.
what?
White history. I already said it. The history that people read and learn is completely inaccurate. I call it white history. There's so much shit wrong with it that it's not even funny. They
Oh, it
leave
is
out a
kind of funny.
whole bunch of shit. I mean, sure, I guess it's comical if you want it to be, but some shit is a little
Our
a lot fucked up. I can't even say it's a little fucked up. I have a lot of
our
problems with the
education
way
system
history
has,
is told and written. I mean, obviously it's written by the people they call victors, but they failed to tell people how they did a lot of things. And then when people are becoming accountable for that history, people are all butthurt about it. No, you can't change history. Why the fuck not? They did.
yeah. What I'm saying, like, well, yeah, history is pretty fucked up, but like the entire school system's fucked up now. So
Yeah, I'm not talking about
that
just in
surprised?
school though. I mean, no, I'm not surprised by it. But I mean, we're talking even college level education. I know people that are history majors.
That's a school.
I know it is, but there's a difference between not telling kids in elementary school. There's like no written anything about a lot of the shit that happened historically unless you get it from the people that had it happen to them. Like the gold rush. The gold rush is one of the biggest things for me as far as native shit across the nation goes for historical inaccuracies. They talk about all this, people traveling west and nobody was living there. They don't talk anything about the native tribes that inhabited that land that were enslaved and forced to dig up that gold and murdered and tortured and all this shit. You don't hear any about that. I fucking sure as shit didn't read any of that in school, but you know what? All that gold rightly belongs to a bunch of native people. And natives would currently be the wealthiest people in the world on any plane, like on any continent. But they get tortured and enslaved and murdered and stolen from. And I'm not just talking to the United States, even though it's a big one. Even, for me, being from Minnesota, the Sioux totally got robbed, man.
Yeah. I would give this movie like a 2.5.
Now he rates it. He's like, I asked for the rating fucking 10 minutes ago. I go on this whole tangent about fucking native mistreatment, and he's like, so 2, give it a 2.
Yeah.
They're cheating in the polls. I don't like it. It's fake news. Uh, oh shit.
I've been reading that shit all day. I'm getting like pretty like
I'm ready for it to be done, man.
it's fucking comical.
Dude, it's so funny, but at the same time, it's like just pack your shit and get the fuck out, dude. Nobody wants you here. And I think the worst part for me is
Nobody is a stretch because there are some.
okay. I recommend this movie because we're about to go down a rabbit hole. So, do you recommend this movie? He said yes. We recommend this movie.
It's an alright movie. Like
All right, my rabbit hole. My whole thing is Trump. Okay, 2 things. Trump for the last year and beyond, the entirety of his presidency has said everything is fake news and the media is full of shit and they're all lying. And then yesterday he tweeted out something saying that the election is being defrauded and everything's fake. Just ask the media. And I was like, wait, so now we're supposed to listen to the people that are full of shit? And on top of that, he has been just the biggest hypocrite, and I don't care to touch on
has been
points,
and he's
but
is.
yeah, he is, but he publicly has been for the last 4 years the biggest hypocrite. And if you need proof, just look on his Twitter. I mean, we're not gonna get into fucking details about all of it because it doesn't need to be that deep, but he has relentlessly gone after people before him for shit that he does without any fucking care in the world. And he's just like, oh no, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. These people are bad. He's a terrible president. If a president does that, he's failing, but I'm going to do it right now. And I'm great. I'm the best. You can't be better than me.
There was this speech that he did. He said he's the least racist person in the room. That the people in the room was like his family and stuff.
Yeah, he says shit like that, and it's great. No, but so he does all of this shit, and he's done it for years, and the entire time it's going on, all of the media is backing him, especially Fox News. They're just riding his fucking dick on all this shit, especially Fox News. And they're just, everything's far left this, and they're full of shit, and they're wrong. And now that he's on his way out, because he is on his way out, they're all like, oh, he's too far gone. He's just being a sore loser. He's pathetic. It's over. It's done. And I'm like, oh, now you're going to fucking flip flop, dude. I hope you all get fired.
He wants to recount all the votes now. He's suing.
Well, he's not within a close enough percentage to demand a recount, so he's suing the states that he lost in. And it's hilarious to me. He's trying to get them to stop the count of the votes
Mhm. Well, he was also trying to shut down the post office too.
I mean, the entire time, could you imagine? They've been fucking with the mail. He put somebody in
Mhm.
charge of the mail that has no business being in charge of the postal service, that has been fucking with shit the entire time. They've been shutting down polls across the nation. People have been talking about it. I read about it all the time on Twitter and shit. People that live places and they're like, we have 12 polling locations in my immediate area, and they've all been shut down except for 3. And I'm like, how the fuck is that legal during an election? You know? But he's talking about how they should stop the count and all of this shit. And I'm like, dude, you have been doing everything in your power to fuck people out of the ability to vote against you, and you're still losing. Could you imagine if you hadn't done all the shit you did this year to fuck people out of voting? Like,
Oh, and then there's that
it would have been a landslide.
don't
You
use a
wouldn't have a
Sharpie
chance.
thing. Did you read about the Sharpie thing?
No.
They let you use a Sharpie. Call this number because they won't count your vote. No, it says that recommend using a Sharpie because of
Yeah.
various reasons.
The scanner is really touchy, so if you don't entirely fill in the bubble, it won't count what you marked. I mean, I know that, so I have no problem filling out a ballot. But if people don't, like, say, a 18-year-old voting for the first time, and he just scribbles in it like he's in fucking grade school, yeah, it won't tally that. It won't work.
Well, no, their votes are being counted. Just
No,
fear mongering
I'm
because
saying the
of the.
machine, so I'm agreeing with you. They will let you use a Sharpie to fill it in because it's more solid and the machine reads it better. So to say that they're not going to count
But
your vote
they're
because you used a Sharpie is just insane.
well, what they're saying is the polls are doing it on purpose because they're handing you the Sharpie. They are rigging the election by giving you
A better utensil? They're rigging the world by giving you this safety mask. You know, I worked for a company one time where you had to wear safety glasses. Were they rigging uh, the business by providing me safety glasses?
yes.
You're making things better. That's not okay.
Who are you to tell me what I'm gonna do with my eyes?
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much that guy. I never wore those safety glasses. My eyes are fucked up. I can't see without these glasses. Safety glasses don't fit over them. They refuse to buy me the goggle ones that do. I was like, what do you want me to do, man? I can't put these plastic shits that look just like this over this. And if I
Right?
put them on without these, I can't do my job.
And you have to go get your own then.
Yeah, that's what they said, but then I showed them the manual that said that they had to provide me safety equipment because it came out of my paycheck, and I was like, where's my shit? And they were like, well, I gave you them, and I'm like, well, they don't work. And they were like, that's too bad. I was like, well, whatever, dude. Don't fucking say shit to me on a job site then. And I want to say a big shout out to that company right there. That's my shout out to you. You owe me money. You owe me so much fucking money, and someday you're all gonna get it back. I promise. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna fucking walk up with like a Rocky lock. You know what I'm talking about? That big fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger handshake from the Predator.
Predator.
Dylan, you son of a bitch. But it's gonna be like a bunch of dudes with chains. No, it's gonna be a bunch of little kids with chains, man. Fuck your shit up. I'm gonna show up with a school bus full of fucking 9-year-olds that just get picked on every day, and I'm gonna just tell them to beat
Chains
their
and butterfly knives.
Yo, I still have my first butterfly knife, man. I love butterfly knives. I taught myself how to use one of those so well that I don't even cut myself with a double-sided blade. I've never cut myself with one. That's not true. I stabbed myself once.
I just imagine like a 9-year-old going.
Just twirling the shit out of it like a pro, throwing it up in the air, catching it.
Yeah. He's like spinning the chain around, like intimidation.
That would be so intimidating, twirling a chain and twisting a butterfly knife. It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach for gangsters.
Right.
He's like jump roping with this fucking big chain and throwing a butterfly knife. And they got these like just thuggish nursery rhymes too about stabbing your ass and beating you to death with that chain, but it's all poppy and kid voices, and they're like clapping along with it. Just, I need to make that's the next movie. That's the fifth movie we've got. We've got so many fucking movies, dude.
Bully.
Yeah, the name of the movie needs to be Bullied.
Bully. 1, 2, gonna stab you.
No, we're not writing nursery rhymes. I don't get into that. I'm not good with nursery rhymes. I gotta find somebody
Put more
that's
thought into it.
from the old school, like old school English. It's got to be somebody. That's where all the good nursery rhymes came from. So I gotta find somebody whose fucking great grandmother was somebody that came up with, you know, one of them popular nursery rhymes. I gotta find somebody that's related to the person that came up with Ring Around the Rosies. That is the darkest nursery rhyme ever.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I just have the kids reading, like, memorizing Grimm fairy tales. Because if they memorize the whole thing, it's gonna be some shit.
Oh man. All right, so now that I've tormented my business through video, oh god.
I want to see a 9-year-old just redoing Mother Goose by Andrew Dice Clay. So you have a 9-year-old with a fucking knife and a chain going.
Little Miss Muffet
Hickory
sat on a tuffet.
Oh!
Along came a spider, sat down beside it, and said, "Yo, bitch, what's in the bowl?" Fucking Dice was the shit, man. I'm not gonna
Could you
lie.
imagine like a 9-year-old going, "Little boy blue, he needed that money." Oh!
Oh, dude, I wish that shit would fly nowadays, man. I really hate how sensitive everybody is. I mean, yeah, there's some shit that people have a right to be sensitive about, and a lot of that has gotten better. But there is stuff that they reach too far. Like, you're not allowed to tell jokes about a lot of shit, and I don't get it. And it's not that you're not allowed to. People just don't know how to take fucking jokes anymore. It's comedy. It's
That's
humor.
true.
Like, either laugh or get the fuck out, dude. You don't have to be there. You don't have to watch it. Shut it off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Teen Mom is a fucking show. Like, I've wanted that canceled for all of, like, since it started. But if MTV can have a show where they pay 16-year-old girls that got pregnant like dipshits, then people can tell fucked up jokes. That's my thoughts. Like, nobody should be getting fucking successful and rich because they were stupid and had unprotected sex at 16 years old. Let alone have fucking 3 seasons of the show with them on there, and they fucking it's
I don't think they get paid that much though.
Yeah, they do, and they get paid, period. So they should not be getting paid for that. I waited until I was an adult to have a kid. Somebody gonna pay me for that?
Oh,
Exactly. So why do they get fucking? I'm way funnier than
because
they
they're
are.
16.
I mean, give me a TV show. My family's fucked up. We're great.
Right?
We'd be awesome entertainment. I don't mean fucked up in a bad way either. I mean, we're hilarious. You get all of this with background people. I think too highly of my comedic talents.
That's all right. We are pretty funny sometimes.
Yeah, we are.
Be one joke out of every episode that actually hit home.
Proud of you. That's my throw
The
out.
one. I don't know what the one in this one is going to be, but
Me neither. I think honestly this movie it's too, for me, it's too deep and too real for me to have my normal lightness and make jokes. I can't make jokes. As I've already said, there are parts of the movie that I don't agree with and I wish wouldn't have been done the way they were, but the overall message of the movie and premise of um it's not a joking matter to me. We can go back to talking about Donald Trump's dumbass. I mean, fuck, I'll make jokes about him all day.
I wish the cartoon villain wasn't in it.
Yeah, like I agree. I don't. There's just there was some things. I want it to be appreciated for what it is, um, more than I want to pick it apart. I mean, I did pick it apart, but I'm still gonna appreciate the movie. It's kind of dude, that shit's scary, man. It is. It's scary to me.
Yeah. I feel like it could have been a better movie, though.
It could have been a better movie. I was talking about that. Bella and I watched it together, and we were actually agreeing with each other that had Jordan Peele done this movie, it would have came out better.
Well, yeah. I mean,
He should have done it. I think the premise, the story of it works well, and I think he would have just next leveled it. You know what I mean? Like it's right here, and he would have.
right? Because he would have. It's more. I think he'd make it a little bit more satirical. Because most of his movies are like,
I don't know if he would. There
yeah,
is not
I think
much
it works better.
satire in his work.
Yeah, just because it's not like haha, it's not. It's mostly a over exaggeration of certain elements is what basically makes it a satire. This one, they took it way too serious for such a cartoon villain to be the. If you're gonna take it super serious, make them seem not cartoonish. I think like Ted Bundy is a lot scarier than Snidely Whiplash.
Why? What is that from? Whiplash.
What's what from? That's Dudley Do Right, I think. He's always tying the chick to the railroad tracks, twirling his mustache.
Huh. I've only seen Dudley Do Right once. I'm trying to remember. Is that Brendan Fraser?
Oh, the movie, yeah, it was a cartoon before that.
Really?
Yeah, on the Rocky and Bullwinkle.
No way, man. I grew up watching Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, you must have missed Dudley Do Right.
Wait, no, I didn't. He was the Mountie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Dudley Do Right.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know why I didn't just think about that now until you fucking said that. I remember him on Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's odd.
He's usually my go-to when I try to compare things to cartoons.
That's also odd.
Well, I mean, I figured everyone knows who Stanley Whiplash is, but I guess I could be wrong.
Yeah, I had no idea. But that's just because it's been a long time since I've seen any cartoon, for that matter, that I would consider a cartoon. You know what I mean? Like I still watch animated stuff, but I don't really watch cartoons. and mainly because they cut out Saturday morning cartoons.
Right? That sucks. I'll compare more to a Bond villain. Not the good Bond villain. Like not that they're bad, but not like the Casino Royale one where he's an actual fleshed out character, more like Doctor No.
Okay,
I expect you to die.
man with the golden gun.
Yeah. I think only one of their villains has really been
I don't think they
like,
really focused on that back then. You know what I mean?
nah,
Like,
or bad, and then you
it,
have the good.
it was more focusing on James Bond womanizing and beating ass.
Yeah.
Like he fucking like I don't know, man. I don't want to start talking about James Bond. There's so many movies, dude.
Yeah. But like they didn't pay attention to that before, but I think throughout the whole series there's one character that's actually fleshed out. That movie had like 3 sequels, and those characters aren't very fleshed out. So the one, like a villain that you go, I could kind of see you being a villain.
Best James Bond. Go.
Best James Bond like actor or
Yes. Who was the best James Bond?
uh like Sean Connery.
Fair enough. Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, I liked his one movie.
Right. You got Sean Connery, who's like 6 deep. You got Roger Moore, who is like 5, 4 or
Yeah, I
5
wasn't a
Bond
fan of
films.
Roger Moore.
You know what? Me neither.
I wasn't he's bad. He wasn't
Me
bad.
neither.
But
I wouldn't put him in my top 3. That's all I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah, Timothy Dalton. I don't know why. I liked T. Dalton as James Bond,
Well,
but I also liked I like Daniel Craig. I will say that I do like Daniel Craig as James Bond, but I think the James Bond movies that he does have a different feel than James Bond movies used to. These are like fucking Christopher Nolan style James Bond movies. You got IMAX shit.
there's 4 of them, right? The Daniel Craig.
I think there will be
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. What was the other one?
Skyfall.
Skyfall.
And then Spectre. So yeah, 4.
Yeah. Is Spectre?
Oh,
That's already done, right? Yeah, that's out.
it's been done. So out of those 4, I really liked Casino Royale and Skyfall. So
Casino
those 2
Royale is a remake, and it was amazing.
well, I mean, it's just another adaptation, and the first movie wasn't really that great of an adaptation anyway.
No, it wasn't. That's why I said it was amazing, because it was way better. I liked, I think, 2 of the Pierce Brosnan ones.
I
I think I liked GoldenEye.
liked the video game GoldenEye.
So did I. Oh my god, I loved fucking GoldenEye, man. I beat all the speed runs. I had everything unlocked for that game. I was
Now,
amazing at GoldenEye. I'm not gonna lie, and I never played as Odd Job. And if you did, I still killed the shit out of you.
I liked the game, but I
I liked
think
the
that's the
movie.
only Pierce Brosnan one. But
I liked that one, and I liked Tomorrow Never Dies. Then I should specify I liked them when I first saw them, and when I first saw them, I was like a teenager, so I have never watched them again because I have rewatched the other ones that he did, and I didn't really care for them. I don't want to ruin the ones I did like. I want to remember them in their glory. Like just stay over here.
Die Again Yesterday or whatever.
Something not die again sounds familiar. Die Again Alley.
Die Again Yesterday.
God, who else? There's another
Day
James
Before Death.
Bond, and I don't.
Fuck. It's
Roger Moore, Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton. There's another guy that only did 2 or 3 Bond movies before Pierce Brosnan.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I guess it doesn't
Ah.
really matter.
I don't know, I wouldn't really consider Casino Royale a remake. I just figure it as an actual adaptation of the book.
Yeah, it's a worthwhile adaptation. That's like I don't consider The Witches a remake. I consider it trash.
I consider it, yeah, it's trash. I don't consider it a remake either. It's just another adaptation. Which is, all right, so like with adaptations, it's weird to call things remakes. But it's
It is because they're not remaking the film that came before it. They're reinterpreting the source material more often than not.
there are some cases where they are remaking the movie. Like
Yeah.
let's say The Ring. That's completely different from the book. And what the added like supernatural stuff that they add to like the ghost story stuff transferred over to the new movie. So that's kind of like that's a remake.
Yeah. Ringu to the Ring, yeah. And those movies, man. I like the Japanese Ringu movies. And I like The Ring. I liked the sequel. Rings, man.
Oh man, that went downhill.
What the fuck are you doing?
I had
Sometimes
some good ideas though.
Rings could have worked.
I had good ideas. It just
The premise is crazy good, but
I don't think they know what to do with the good idea. They
it's like Gremlins 2. You know, like fucking 50 people sat in a room and they were like, what should we do? And everybody had an idea and they're like, we'll put them all in there.
the idea was like really good.
I
and
want a
it kind
gremlin
of
that's a slut.
flows. Yeah. It flows with the other movies if you like.
No, it was good. It just wasn't,
good.
you know, like
The idea was good.
Yeah.
That's gonna be as far as I go.
Yeah.
Like I said, the movie wasn't good.
No.
I don't know. But I liked Vincent D'Onofrio's.
You know what was
I like
better than Rings? The satire that Scary Movie did on Rings.
You the third one?
Yeah, the one with the ring bitch.
Yeah.
And the aliens.
Yeah. Signs and the Ring.
Yeah. It was fucking great.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Like,
it was way better than Rings.
I think that was the last one that was actually funny.
It was the first one that was less funny.
Yeah, but it's the last one that was actually funny.
Yeah.
It might have been less funny, but it's the last one that like. Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie, and I only liked it because, God, what's the guy's name? I think the person that wrote that is the same person that did Naked Gun and
Jerry Zucker
and a couple of those other Leslie Nielsen movies. And Leslie Nielsen himself, I mean, fuck, dude, put him in anything. He kills me. I loved Leslie Nielsen growing up. He's one of my favorite comedic actors.
He's the only good part with the newer scary movies. Even like the fourth and fifth, every time he showed up, you go, yeah, Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, it was just priceless. Leslie Nielsen was a comedic icon for his delivery, his screen presence. Like the ridiculous nature of the material was never conveyed through him. You know what I mean? Like he was always
a straight man.
Yeah, he was straight-faced and serious the whole time, which it made things that much better and funnier when they came out of his mouth, or when he acted out scenes, or when he's
Yeah.
punching little kids. Like,
The fuck, what was it? Oh, Mr. Magoo movie that he was in. The movie is not that great, but his performance is like it makes that entire movie worth
it does.
watching.
I've actually rewatched that movie just because of his performance and watching him. It's not very Magoo. I mean, the character's there, and the character is still blind. That's about as Magoo as the movie is. You know what I mean? But him, yeah,
Oh, I mean, it is pretty Magoo. It's slapstick, blind guy jokes.
yeah. I didn't feel it was. I mean, obviously, they're different mediums. So you got a live action movie versus a cartoon. They pull off some of this stuff really well. I will give them that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I used to watch Mr. Magoo.
It's like that Rocky and
Oh
Bullwinkle
my
movie.
God,
I
I
think
was
that turned out
just
okay.
thinking that right before you said it.
Like was it Robert De Niro?
That was not as good.
Yeah, it still was. It was something. It's not as bad as everyone.
No, it wasn't terrible. It's not as good as Mr. Magoo. And that's probably because Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, I still liked it as a kid, and then like Dudley Do Right, and I like that movie because of Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I liked Dudley Do Right. Brendan Fraser, man, we miss you. I hope you come back to acting. I really do. I mean, on a grander scheme, I know you're still acting. I love you on Doom Patrol.
He's great in that.
Right? I miss Brendan Fraser being a leading man. He's so talented, and he is so just he's what's the word I'm looking
Likeable.
for? That, but well, yes, absolutely. No matter the role he's playing, but he's like a chameleon, man. He played so many different roles, and his execution of each one is on the same level, and it's a high bar. You know what I'm saying? He's not trash in everything he's in. He does a great job in everything he's in. I liked his fucking stoner caveman in Encino Man, aka
Yeah,
California Man. He was great in that. He was awesome as the idiot Tarzan. He was
George of the Jungle.
yeah. That I call him the idiot Tarzan because George of the Jungle is pretty much a dumbed
The idiot
version of Tarzan. Not that he played him as an idiot, you know what I mean? It's just that's what the character is. It's a comedic version of Tarzan.
The second one would be in a totally better movie if Brendan Fraser came back.
Yes. I think scheduling conflicts because of how popular he was, or just
Oh, they
one of
say
those
in the
things.
movie that it's money.
Was it?
That's what they say in the movie is that he was too expensive. It's a joke, but like I don't. Might be like.
Oh no, they're probably
True.
dead serious. They love to throw
Yeah.
shit like
Well,
that in there. That's like Fuller House when they put that on Netflix. They make a joke about how Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. They say the daughter's name, but
fuck. What was her name?
uh,
I don't watch Fuller House, so
well, it was from Full House.
I don't watch Full House either.
I can't remember her name. What was the
Was it
little girl?
Ashley?
No, it's not Mary or Ashley. Oh my God. Hey Google, what was Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's character's name on Full House? Michelle.
Ah,
Thanks, Google.
I had Google there the whole time, and you were like trying to figure out like shit.
Yeah, that's how I roll. Yeah, see, that's how you
Huh.
know when I know shit and when I don't know shit. Because if I don't know something, I ask my Google. Most of the shit just comes off my head. So yeah, Michelle. They make a joke and they're like, "Where's Michelle?" When everybody gets back together, and they're like, "Oh, she's too expensive for us now." And I was like, "Damn!" Just throwing it at the Olsen twins, not even giving a shit, because
What about Bob
they're the
Saget?
only people that didn't come back for the reunion.
Saget came back?
Oh fuck yeah, Saget was in the first season. He might even still be coming on the show. Saget's a fucking champ, man. He knows him as Danny Tanner. I think, yeah, he was the dad. I don't know him as Danny Tanner. I grew up with his fucking stand-up comedy.
Yeah, he's fucking.
That dude was raunchy as shit, man. When you see him as Danny Tanner, you're like, that's weird. But
Did you ever watch Farce of the Penguins? That movie he did?
yeah,
That was hilarious.
dude, I was so what's that show? Let Me See Your Voice is a new show where people come out and sing, but they're lip syncing, and somebody has to guess whether or not they're actually a good singer, and they can win $100,000, whatever. They've had all these guest judges, and they're usually musicians that are known for being musicians. And while I know that Bob Saget is a musician, he's not really known as a musician. But I'm out cooking in the kitchen, and I hear his voice on the TV, and I had to walk around the wall. I'm like, is that fucking Bob Saget out here? And he's sitting out there, trying to coach people on who to pick, whether or not they can sing. And everybody kept saying, I love you, but I don't know if I would trust your opinion about this. And I'm like, you guys know that he's actually a musician, right? Like,
Was he America's Most Funny Videos too?
yeah,
Yeah,
he's the original host of that.
yeah, that's what I was.
I think he's the
Forgets
original
that.
host. I don't know if it was on before him. He's who I grew up with on that show. And it hasn't
Yeah.
been funny since he left that show. At least to me. I stopped watching it though, so.
Yeah, I kind of stopped too.
Excuse me. I don't know. Holy shit, we're at 92 minutes.
Yeah, it's
we bring it to the YouTube and we just fucking, what's up? Everything.
yeah.
We used to keep this shit under 60 minutes.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. We had like 3 episodes that went to 72, 74, and we were like, man, we gotta wrap it up.
Well, we attempt. Like they're all attempts.
No, I don't give a shit, man. Fucking quarantine.
Right. All right. So
What do you have
like
to
the
do
movie?
better than fucking sitting here listening to us rant? Nothing.
Yeah.
Put it on
You
your
like the
fucking
movie?
boy later. I already said I like the movie. I hope everybody sees
Yeah.
it.
All right. So you recommend the movie to everybody? Would you like to tell them where they could find you so we could cut
I
this?
like the movie, and I want people to appreciate the fact that it might not be a horror movie to you, but it is a horror movie. It is a fucking
Just not a
scary
supernatural.
dog. It's not supernatural at all. And if it came off like that in the trailers, that sucks. But I've already said how I feel about trailers. I will continue to say how I feel about trailers. Because they ruin shit. They do. In more ways than one. Anyway, you can find me on YouTube at Loonsville the Podcast. You also can find me on Twitch at twitch.com/GFBird, GEEFBird, and everywhere else, every social media, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Slasher, Kick, Periscope, if that still exists.
I think
I think they might have gotten what's that word?
merged.
Yeah, I think with the newer version. Well, I don't know because it's the live stream for Twitter, so I don't know if
Yeah.
Twitter envelops that and just put it into them. I don't know if you can live stream straight to Twitter now, but if not, then yeah, Periscope still exists.
I think it penetrated Twitter.
Penetrated Twitter. Oh my god, why is that so funny to me? You know what that makes me think of? Night of the Demons when she penetrates her titter with that fucking lipstick.
We need to talk about Night of the Demons.
So this one time, oh, running gag.
Yeah. It's the first time it's been heard on YouTube's.
Yeah, dude. So we're gonna do Night of the Demons tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna recycle all my old jokes.
We should. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
have to. I'm loaded with material. It just comes naturally. Same for you. We don't recycle old shit. We could totally re-record old fucking shit that we watched though for the YouTube. We could just lip sync
Yeah.
it, like play the audio. I could just put the audio track over the video, and we could just sit here.
It's very easy for me to lip sync.
Yeah, no, we could do it. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of mouth movements, and later on, I'm gonna put an audio track in there that does not line up with this. I'm not actually gonna do that. Fucking
A kung fu movie,
exactly. Not just any kung fu movie.
but kung fu.
Kung Pao. Enter the Fist.
Wow. I like Kung Fu Hustle. That was a good movie.
Kung Fu Hustle. We should do that movie. That movie blew the fucking roof off. That movie was amazing on so many levels.
I don't know. I think I want to talk about some shitty movies.
Yeah, we definitely need to do more shitty movies. We do.
Yeah, that's an important part. Those are most of the movies that I watch.
I have some. Well, some of them I wouldn't consider shitty, but
I don't know.
they have shark fights. Makes it a good movie.
As long as there's shark fights.
They blew their whole fucking budget on that shark fight, dude, and it was so worth it.
There's Santa Jaws, so maybe that might be a good Christmas special.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think now that we're gonna do it on YouTube, we should do everything with Santa in it. Santa is a dick.
Is it, Dick?
And we get to explain to the YouTube verse why Santa's a dick too.
Well,
He
yeah,
touched
Santa's
me.
just always been a dick.
He touched me in my privates. He didn't really. It's a running gag about Dick Splatter. Fuck it.
Oh man, you messed it up. I just kept going with it. It's almost like the Monty Python joke.
You know what? I did. I ruined it.
Yeah, killed it.
We could do some Monty Python movies too.
Yeah, but those aren't bad. Those are good.
No, they're fucking amazing. I love Monty Python. Life of Brian, Holy Grail, Meaning of Life.
I don't think I could review those movies because the entire episode would be like, always look on the bright side. of
I
life.
just I couldn't either. Where did you get that?
Every
Get what?
sacred.
That. You got 2 empty halves of coconut and you're banging them together. I found it. Found it. Here. Yeah. It's a tropical fruit. A
Yeah.
swallow carried it. I love doing. Wait, I'm gonna go off. Yeah.
Monty Python's great.
We are. Fuck it. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna have to edit this one though. We didn't have any issues, so that's cool. This one doesn't have to be cut down. We kind of stayed.
The beginning.
Yeah, I'll trim the front, just because I started recording before we actually started recording. But
You
so that's
edit
cool,
like I do.
because this is right now 7 minutes shorter than the first one we put up. So
Sure.
or no, it's 12 minutes longer. That was an hour and 37 minutes.
Ah,
It was longer than this before I edited the fuck out of it. 217 edits, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. At one point, you won't even notice it because it's not in the YouTube, but you could hear it on the podcast. Like you stumbled over your words and you were like, fuck. And I cut that out, and it's so perfect. Like, you don't stumble at all, and you just go right into what you were saying, and I was like, man, that's a fucking clean edit. And I listened to it like 5 times over and over just because I was like, I'm getting good.
And my stumbling makes it more authentic.
It does, but you seemed genuinely upset with that one. I stammer over my own shit too. I was primarily just cutting out dead air, and then some shit where we trailed off because we were talking about being done, and then I was like fucking with my hat, and
Yeah.
we were talking about how it was kind of going long, and then we literally spend 10 minutes talking about how we should be done, and then we go for another 20 minutes. So I cut out that 10 minutes, and then I left the other 20 minutes in. And I left in the blah, blah, blah. It was a nod to the, couple of the first podcasts we ever did. Yeah.
Right. Maybe maybe we could have another screen that has like the trailer going or something.
I could actually do that in the editing program. I can throw stuff in. Like I could
Yeah,
it could be right. You need to put your hand. No, point at the corner. No, where my finger's pointing. Yeah, it could be right in here. We gotta get
we're
better at
opposite.
syncing this up.
Wait, are you over there?
Yes.
Are you over there?
Am I over there on your screen? Like am I
You're over
pointing
there.
at you right now?
Yeah.
Oh, see on my screen I'm pointing at you here. That makes so much more sense. So it's opposites for us. I'm on the right on my screen and I'm on the left on your screen. Okay, okay. All right. So my screen's what matters because it's what gets dubbed into the video. So it's going to
Yeah.
be harder for you because you have to do the opposite of everything. You got to point away from me to point to me. Yeah, do that. Nice. We'll get that worked out. We're gonna get better at it. We're gonna get good.
Over there.
Yeah. Blow it up. Oh.
So that was our episode.
I'm like fucking with my broken fingers now.
Yeah.
I can't make a fist. My fingers don't close. I have to physically pry my fingers down together to make a fist because I broke all of my fingers. I had to do the same thing with this one. I've shattered both my hands. It's great.
That's
Little
That's
behind the
pretty
scenes
great.
information. I guess I should cut this to the beginning, and that should just be the start of the whole show. I broke both my hands, and then it just cuts into welcome to Loonsville.
Well, like next episode, I think we're gonna do Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do Night of the Demons tomorrow. We will not be doing one tomorrow, and then you'll just think that we did.
Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna do Night of the Demons.
We might be able to do something tomorrow. Also, with the YouTube, I'm gonna edit this out, by the way. So if you want to trim it back,
Oh no, I'm leaving the whole thing up. I'm just trimming that.
all right, whatever. I'll leave it on here too. Fuck it. What was I just saying?
Actually, on the YouTubes.
Yeah, something about YouTube. I lost my train of thought. Who cares, man? I like food.
Oh, I think we're talking about tomorrow, and then you said actually on the YouTubes.
Oh, right. Thank you. So on YouTube, when I'm uploading the videos, I have the ability to schedule it to upload so I can finish the processing and then I can set it to post itself at a certain time. Like I can pick a day and a time and it'll pop up that day, that time, which I like a lot because then if we get a day where we have a lot of free time, Like sometimes we've had time to do 2, 3 fucking movies. We could do,
That doesn't happen a lot.
I know, but if it does end up happening, we could do a few of them, record it in one shot. You know what I mean? Do
Hmm.
each one, and then I can clip it out. I can post them all separately and set them to post themselves staggered, so we don't just upload 3 in one day. I can set them to upload like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for instance.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I liked that. I also liked that I figured out how to do this shit. Because that whole like restricted to 15 minutes thing, I don't get why you have to have a phone number on YouTube to be able to post a video.
Make sure you're real.
I'm about as real as they come, 100%. So on that note, we are now at 106 minutes.
In 40 seconds.
If you watched this entire episode, hit the subscribe button because you're my hero.
Which would be is it that way?
Subscribe button is down the bottom right of the screen. So yeah, it's right here. Hit that subscribe button. I can't see the YouTube right now, but I know it's there. The information on the video is down here. It talks about how dumb I am. And then up here is your search bar. Use that to search more videos from us.
Yeah, all 2 of them.
Yeah. Or double above, there's a search bar for your browser where you can look for Loonsville on Anchor, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And you can catch out
Or
a whole
anything, I think.
bunch of shit from us. There's like fucking at least 9.
Probably right.
I think there's more than 9, but some of them are pretty good. Not gonna lie. Especially the ones where we talk about stuff that has nothing to do with the movie we're reviewing, which is usually every single one we do.
It happens a lot.
It does. It's a staple of the podcast. I don't even give a shit. Like, we had this idea to stay on task one time, and I was like, I don't know, man.
You can't stay on task. But
After I got
that was our
information
episode.
from some viewers that, you know, write and direct movies, and they were like, I loved that, I was like, fuck it. I'm sticking with it.
I think no matter if we try to stay on topic or not, we still
Yeah, no, it's not happening. I tangent. I should get a tattoo right here that says I tangent. Nobody would understand it. And right over here it'd say Santa's a dick.
yeah.
I
And you're
tangent.
doing the editing the fuck out of it now.
I am. I totally am. This one I'm gonna keep. I think I'm gonna leave it. Just trim that front.
Yeah.
And then
well,
it'll be good.
appreciate
Eventually,
you guys
I'm gonna get
listening.
a green screen back here instead of this nice purple
You
tarp.
get a green screen. You're gonna be a show off.
I am. I'm gonna get a green screen. I need one for my my Twitch stream.
I appreciate you guys listening or watching.
Yeah, I appreciate both. Even if you did one or the other, drop into the other platform. Please like and subscribe. Leave comments.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I say it in the information on the video. If there's anything somebody wants us to talk about, review, drop a comment. Let us know. We'll fucking do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably end up talking about Michael Bay, but we'll try to talk about what you want.
More exploitative, the better.
Absolutely. All right, everybody.